हुसैन सर, कौन कौन एब्सेंट है कि देखो सर, देख के मैसेज करो उन लोगों को, आ जाते क्लास में। हाँ, तुम लोग क्लास हो जाने बाद करते हैं ना, क्लास हो जाने बाद करते हैं ना, वैसा नहीं जैसे क्लास के टाइम पे करो। हाँ, आ जाते हो ना, कम से कम थोड़े जने तो रिटर्न आते। अब 33 है, 34 है। Okay. So, when blood flows in the blood vessel, along with all the nutrients are present in this blood. These nutrients need to reach into the tissues. Okay. When this process is taking place, the nutrients come out of the blood vessel, enter into the interstitial space, because they do not enter in solid form, they are entering in liquid form. That means along with the plasma they are coming out, and with the plasma only they are entering in the tissues. During that process, in this interstitial spaces or intercellular spaces, some amount of liquid will stay back. That liquid that is present inside the tissues is called as tissue fluid. This tissue fluid will find its way into lymphatic vessels. Okay? Lymphatic vessels are those vessels which are present inside this fluids. They carry this. Okay? They are having small pores. At the beginning of this lymphatic, so at the end of this lymphatic vessels, lymphatic capillaries will be there. Lymph capillaries are ending of lymphatic vessels that have pores. Through these pores, all this tissue fluid will enter into this blood vessel. Okay? When the fluid enters into the blood vessel, at that time it is called as lymph. At that time it is called as lymph. Why it enters into this lymphatic capillaries? When we apply some pressure on the tissues. What kind of pressure? When muscles contract and relax. When muscles contract and relax, this lymph enters into the lymphatic vessels. When we are moving our hands, legs, different parts of body, lymph enters into lymphatic capillaries. These lymphatic capillaries are distributed in entire body. So from the lower parts of body, if you take from the lower parts of the body, from the right arm, right part of the neck, right part of the neck, right shoulder, all these parts, the lymph capillaries will combine to form lymphatic vessels, and all these lymphatic vessels coming from these parts which I have mentioned, right leg, left arm, left side of the neck and head region, will form one common duct that is called as lymphatic duct. Lymphatic duct. Okay? And it will drain into one vein. Here there is a vein that is coming. It is called as subclavian vein. Here there is a subclavian vein that is coming. And this lymphatic duct will drain into that subclavian. Here also there is one subclavian vein. Okay, let me draw in red color. Veins are blue in color, but I am drawing in red color. This is subclavian vein. This is subclavian vein. That will connect to heart. So this side, from the right side, the lymphatic vessels are collecting blood from right arm, right chest, right head region. That's all. Okay. So right lymphatic duct, carries blood only from this region. What are the region? Right arm, right chest, and right head. Right arm, right thoracic cavity. Chest cavity is called as thoracic cavity, and right head and neck. only this region's lymph is carried by right lymphatic duct. It will drain into the subclavian vein. Whatever comes from here, it will drain into subclavian vein that is on the right side. Okay. From different parts of body, from right leg, left arm, neck, abdomen, all these regions, left lymphatic duct will carry and drain it into the left subclavian vein. Okay. So, what here you need to understand is the entire lymphatic fluid is present, it is draining back into the blood. Where it is starting from? It is starting from blood only. Okay? From blood only it is entering into tissues. And once it is filled inside the lymphatic vessels, it will drain back into the bloodstream only. So, it's starting from bloodstream, it is ending into the bloodstream. That is about lymphatic system. Next, structure of heart. We'll study about the structure of heart. Very important as well as interesting topic, children. Heart is a fist-sized muscular organ. Fist, clenched fist. When you close your fist, what is the size of the fist? That is the size of your heart. Okay? Muscular organ. Which muscle it is made up of? Heart is made up of cardiac muscle. Okay? Cardiac muscle. Where is it located? In the thoracic cavity. We know that both the lungs are present in the thoracic cavity. Left lung has a small heart notch. Left lung has a small heart notch and right lung is complete like this. In this heart notch region, this is called as heart notch. Where is it present? This is present in this location is called as mediastinum. Okay. In this location, that means in the thoracic cavity, in the mediastinum, this location is called as mediastinum, and here the heart is present. Okay. Here heart is present. And when you observe the heart, what is the shape of heart? Pear shaped. There is an apex region. Usually pear is like this. Heart is inverse like this. Okay. And this apex is pointed towards left side. Slightly it is tilted. Tilted means slightly it is bent. Okay. Power cut, children. We'll see how long it will move. So heart is located in the mediastinum in the thoracic cavity, pear shaped, slightly tilted towards the left side. Okay. Now, let us try to understand the structure of heart. Heart is formed from mesoderm. So it is mesodermal in origin. What do you mean by mesodermal in origin? We already discussed about, when we discussed about diversity in ecosystem, I said you that there are three embryonic layers. What are the three embryonic layers? Endoderm, ectoderm, and this is mesoderm, which is split into two different layers. Mesoderm, this is also mesoderm. Okay. So what will happen after the embryonic layers are formed? Ectoderm will develop to form some organs. Ectoderm will develop to form some organs. Mesoderm will develop to form some organs. Endoderm will develop to form some organs. Among them, heart is formed from mesoderm. Heart is formed from mesoderm. So that is why heart is said to be mesodermal in origin. Next, when we observe the heart has four chambers. What are the four chambers of heart? Both two auricles are present. These two are auricles. Auricles are upper chambers and they are receiving chambers. Receiving chambers. They are called as receiving chambers because they receive the blood. They receive the blood. The lower chambers are called as ventricles. Lower chambers are called as ventricles and they are called as pumping chambers. Pumping chambers because they give the blood outside, they release the blood outside, so that is why they are called as pumping chambers. Based on whether it is present on left side or right side, auricles are called as right auricle and left auricle. Ventricles are called as right ventricle and left ventricle. Okay, so when you are seeing your right side is, this is your right side, this is your left side, like that. Okay. In your when you are reading the book like this, you will feel it is opposite. This is not right side. You are studying the heart, which is like this. Okay. When you study opposite person's heart, you are studying that person will be opposite to you. Okay. When you are dissecting the heart, also that person's heart will be opposite to you. So you will also study in that way only. This side is right part. This is the left part. Okay, this is right auricle, right ventricle, left ventricle. And these are separated by muscular walls called septum. Muscular walls called septum. There are three septum. What are the three septum? One, interauricular septum. Between two auricles, there is one muscular wall and it is called as interauricular septum. Second one, between two ventricles there is a wall. Between two ventricles there is a muscular wall. This is called as interventricular septum. Ventricular septum. Okay. Now there is a wall between auricles and ventricles. It is called as auriculoventricular septum. Okay. Third one is auriculoventricular septum. Auriculoventricular septum. Okay. So what are the three muscular walls? Interauricular septum, interventricular septum, auriculoventricular septum. Okay. Since these are receiving chambers, more pressure is not required in this chamber. So this wall is thin compared to interventricular septum. Interventricular septum have thicker walls. Okay. Ventricles have thicker walls compared to auricles. Why? These are receiving chambers. No force is required to receive. Whereas to pump the blood to far distances, it can be even to legs. It can be to the end of border of hands also. To pump to that distances, it requires to apply lot of pressure. So when it contracts, more pressure should come out. For that reason, ventricles are having thicker walls compared to auricles. Okay. Now, these auricles and ventricles continuously contract and relax. Okay, contract and relax to circulate the blood in entire body. For circulation of blood in the entire body, There are some blood vessels. What are the blood vessels that are connected? We'll see. This is right auricle, right ventricle. This is left auricle, left ventricle. Okay? Why did I draw this red color, this one black color? Because this side it is, all this side is deoxygenated blood. That means blood filled with carbon dioxide. Deoxygenated blood means blood that is loaded with carbon dioxide. This side of the heart it is oxygenated blood. Blood that is loaded with oxygen is called as oxygenated blood. Blood that is loaded with carbon dioxide is called as deoxygenated blood. Okay. So that deoxygenated blood is collected from all parts of the body by large veins. Okay. They are connected. These are called as vena cava. This is superior vena cava, superior vena cava, and this is inferior vena cava. Inferior vena cava. This opens into right auricle. This opens into right auricle. That means both superior and inferior vena cava opens into right auricles. What is the function superior inferior vena cava? Bring blood from all parts of body. Bring blood from all parts of body. All parts of body. Okay. Now, once this chamber is receiving the blood, after it receives the blood, here there is a septum, here there is a septum. Blood enters from right auricle into right ventricle. Right auricle into right ventricle. Blood enters from right auricle into right ventricle through a small hole in the interauricular septum. That hole is called as right auriculoventricular aperture. Aperture. Right auriculoventricular aperture. But here one thing you should understand, movement of blood in heart is one-sided. There is no reverse flow of blood. So to prevent reverse flow of blood and check that only blood flows in one direction, this hole is guarded by a valve. If this is the hole, there is a valve like this, muscular valve, muscular valve, which opens. It is made up of three cup-like structures. One, two, and third one will be like this. They will open like this to allow the blood. When blood goes off, they'll close like this. Okay, that is valves. Valves are muscular structures. Valves are muscular structures. They allow the blood to flow in one direction. This is right auricle, this is right ventricle. If it is open, blood flows from here to here. If it is closed, blood will not be able to flow. Okay. So when blood enters into right ventricle, this will close and there is no chance for blood to come reverse. Valves are muscular structures which allow blood to flow in one direction, blood to flow in one direction. Is it clear? Valves are muscular structures which allow blood to flow in one direction only. So here in this location where right auriculoventricular aperture is present, there is a valve. This valve is called as tricuspid valve. What is the name of this valve? Tricuspid valve. Tricuspid valve. Through this aperture, which is called as right auriculoventricular aperture, blood flows from right auricle to right ventricle. And to prevent the backflow of blood, here tricuspid valve is present. After the blood enters into right ventricle, there is another blood vessel which is called as pulmonary artery. Okay, this blood vessel is called as pulmonary artery. Pulmonary artery. This blood vessel carries blood from right ventricle to lungs. That is why two branches. This is left branch, sorry, this is right branch, this is left branch. When it is dividing, this is entering into right lung, this is entering into left lung. So the blood from right ventricle will pass to lungs. Once it is passing to lungs, what will happen? I said you this is totally deoxygenated blood only. After the blood enters into this pulmonary artery, it enters into lungs. In the location of lungs, there is exchange of oxygen and carbon dioxide. Oxygen that is present in the lungs enter into blood, and carbon dioxide that is present in the blood will enter into lungs. There will be exchange of gases, and as a result, what happens? Blood gets oxygenated. That oxygenated blood from lungs will enter into left auricle. Sorry, yeah, left auricle. Through small veins called as pulmonary veins. Pulmonary veins. Here two small veins are there. Here two small veins are there. These two will open here. These two will open here. Opening from inner wall. I am showing you the opening. So both these will open into left auricle only. Blood enters for oxygenated blood from lungs enter into left auricle. Okay. It is okay if you are not understanding in single go. Again I'll summarize this. First try to understand. Okay. So here there is an aperture from left auricle to left ventricle. There is a small aperture. If you know the name of this, it's easy to guess the name of this. What is it? It is left auriculo. In place of right, you put left auriculoventricular aperture. For this also valve is required. Yes or no? So the valve that is present here is bicuspid valve. What it is called as? Bicuspid valve. From bicuspid valve, from left auriculoventricular aperture, blood enters from left auricle to left ventricle. This left ventricle pumps blood to all parts of body. For that reason, here there is a blood vessel which takes a curve like this. It takes a curve like this. It has branches that originate from it. This blood vessel, this blood vessel, this blood vessel, this blood vessel is called as aorta. It is the largest artery of our body. It is called as aorta. What it is called as? Aorta. From aorta, blood reaches to all parts of body. Okay. So let us understand till here. It's very important for you to understand till here. Okay. From all parts of body, blood is deoxygenated blood. You should remember that also. Blood which is loaded with carbon dioxide is brought by superior vena cava, inferior vena cava, and this blood enters into right auricle. From right auricle, through a small hole called right auriculoventricular aperture, blood enters into right ventricle. From right ventricle, through a blood vessel called pulmonary artery, blood goes into lungs. At lungs, the carbon dioxide present in blood enters into lungs and the oxygen present in lungs enters into blood. That means deoxygenated blood is converted into oxygenated blood. Now this oxygenated blood reaches through small blood vessels. One pair is present on left side, one pair is present on right side. These are called as pulmonary veins. Through these pulmonary veins, blood from lungs enter into left auricle. From left auricle, blood enters into left ventricle through a small hole. It is called as left auriculoventricular aperture. Left auriculoventricular aperture. In, at this place, there is a valve called as bicuspid valve. Here there is tricuspid valve, and here there is tricuspid valve. Here there is bicuspid valve. Blood enters from left auricle to left ventricle through this small aperture called left auriculoventricular aperture. This is guarded by bicuspid valve. From left ventricle, blood enters into aorta, and this aorta will go back. It will come here, backside of heart. This aorta starts from here. It is going like this. Branches are originating. It will come down, and see from here it will be coming down. Okay. From there it is distributing blood to all parts of body. These three branches will distribute to top parts, and this branch which is coming down will distribute to lower parts of the body. Okay. So that is the structure of heart. Now let us summarize. From all parts of body, two blood enters into right auricle. Who is carrying it to right auricle? Superior and inferior vena cava. From right auricle to right ventricle. What is present in between? Right auriculoventricular aperture. This one is guarded by tricuspid valve. Okay, tricuspid valve. After right ventricle, blood enters into lungs. Who is carrying it to lungs? Pulmonary arteries. Pulmonary arteries carry it to lungs. From lungs, it enters into left auricle. Who is carrying it? Pulmonary veins. From left auricle, blood enters into left ventricle. Who is carrying this? So what is present in between? Left auriculoventricular aperture. What is the valve that is present here? Bicuspid valve. From left ventricle, blood enters to all parts of body. Who is carrying it? A blood vessel called aorta. Okay. This should be clear for you.